So in this video, we are going to talk about the second example of defining trigonometric values. And the first thing what I want to do is simplifying the cosine of 3 pi over 4. And let me write this here. Cosine of 3 pi over 4. And before we simplify this, we already know the trigonometric value of 4 pi over 4. We already know that. Let me write it a little bit lower. Pi over 4 is equal to 45 degrees. This is a special angles in trigonometric function. But we multiply 3 in front of pi. And we also need to multiply 3 in the right side to keep the equal sign. And it will gonna give us 135 degrees. So it is equal to cosine of 135 degrees. But if you simplify 135 degrees into the special angle that we usually know, it will gonna be equal to cosine of 45 degrees times, let's see, it's 3. That means we multiply 45 degrees 3 times, and it is clearly less than 180 degrees, but it is greater than the value of 135 degrees is greater than 90 degrees, so you're gonna be stay in the second quadrant, about here. And that means it is staying in the second quadrant, but we know that in the first quadrant, all of them is positive value. We did it in the last video. In the second quadrant, only sign is the positive value. In the third quadrant, it is only tangent is positive value. In the fourth quadrant, only the cosine is positive value. But clearly in the second quadrant, it is obviously sign is positive value, so that means cosine should be minus cosine of, let's see, we simplified the 135 degrees into minus, and we left with 45 degrees. The reason why we left 45 degrees is because there was 135 degrees, but if we draw 135 degrees in the second quadrant, this is the point. And this is only sign is positive value, so we draw minus cosine, and we left with 45 degrees because 135 degrees is the multiple of 45 degrees. That means even though it is also equal to cosine of 45 degrees, but the negative or positive sign of the in front of the cosine will be changed. And we can simplify this more. We already know the cosine of 45 degrees value, and the cosine of 45 degrees, cosine of 45 degrees is equal to, let's see, 45 degrees equal to square root of 2 over 2. This is just a number that we made. If you type this in the calculator, it will show decimal place, but this is a number that we simplified the decimal. And the first cosine of 4 over 3 pi over 4 is gonna be square root of 2 over 2. And so it is square root of 2 over 2, but we forgot the negative sign. So we're going to be negative square root of 2 over 2. Okay, then if you simplify the sign of 3 pi over 4. Oh, I need to write here because we don't have space. Sine of 3 pi over 4 will be equal to, as we did in the first step of cosine, we're going to be left with sine of 135 degrees, as we did in this step right over here. And it will going to be a sine of 135 degrees, and if it's sine of 135 degrees, it is also going to be equal to sine of 45 degrees times 3. That means the value of sine of 45 times 3 is equal to the sine of 45, but the negative sign will differ, depends on the next number. And if you simplify it, it's 135 degrees. It is greater than 90 degrees, but less than 135 degrees. Here is pi, which is 180 degrees, and it's 90 degrees. And it is clearly in second quadrant right over here, which is value of sine is positive. So you will just gonna be equal to sine of positive, which is 45 degrees. And we can simplify this expression right over here into, we don't have space out right here, into sine of 45 degrees is also same as cosine of 45 degrees, the value. So we're going to be positive square root of 2 over 2. So the answer for a second, which is sine of 3 pi over 4, we're going to be equal to positive square root of 2 over 2. And in the first step right over here, we found the value of cosine and we kept simplifying. And finally, we got the answer of minus square root of 2 over 2 in the second step. We found the value of sine, 3 pi over 4, and we left with square root of 2 over 2, which is positive value, using this coordinate plane. And we are done.